Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadi Tamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shivaya, everyone. Welcome to our August 16th Zoom Keynote Satsang. And our first topic, as usual, is the Yoga Sutras. We are looking at Chapter 3, Vibhuti, and this is our review, pass through the verses. So for some of the verses, we'll ask you a question. And other verses, we'll just move through them very quickly. Transformation toward restraint occurs when the externalizing samskaras are subdued and the restraint samskaras emerge in the mind at the moment of restraint. What is the meaning of this verse? Commentary. The yogi, through his inner work and discipline, develops new samskaras which neutralize and subdue the worldly samskaras, which are the common man's lot. These yogic impressions are brought to bear and further strengthened each time he strives to control the mind, to quiet the mental noise. Slowly, his controlling impressions become stronger. Then the instinctive impressions that normally dominate, and he is able to use the one to be rid of the other. This subtle interaction between the control and the controlled is a major discussion in the sutras, to be understood through practice and more practice. Oh, commentary on the commentary, so to speak. This is really important. It's saying that our ability to concentrate the mind naturally gets stronger through practicing concentration. So we just have to keep practicing and we'll improve. Very encouraging. The flow of tranquility is due to these samskaras. The previous sutra explains the interaction between two types of past subconscious impressions, externalizing samskaras and internalizing samskaras. In this sutra, these refers to the latter group, which contribute to a peaceful flow of consciousness in meditation. Since samskaras are cumulative and not limited to a single lifetime, it can be encouragingly inferred that the collective power of all past efforts to restrain awareness comes forth to subdue the prevailing outgoing samskaras in one's meditations. And Gurudeva's comment, as soon as strong initiative is taken to change our nature toward refinement, a new inner process begins to take place. The forces of positive accomplishment from each of our past lives begin to manifest in this one. The high points of a past life, when something great has happened, become strung together. These merits or good deeds are vibrations in the ether substance of our memory patterns, because each one of us right now is a sum total of all previous experience. All of the distractions of the external area of the mind begin to fade, and positive meditation becomes easily attainable. It is not difficult to move our individual awareness quickly within when distractions occur. The dwindling of scattered attention and the awakening of one-pointedness transform the mind towards samadhi. The mind is naturally given to wandering, focusing now on this and now on that, mulling over the past, worrying about the future, reflecting and reacting, frequently without plan or purpose. It is the work of the yogi to tame this undisciplined movement, to slowly harness the beast, bring the mind to concentration as he wills and for as long as he wills on a single object. It is a fundamental skill he must master. His every effort at this brings him closer to the goal of unity of contemplation. And Gurudeva's quote, upon entering a state of meditation, one may find awareness enmeshed in a struggle between the subconscious of the past and the conscious external waking state concerned with the present and future. The experienced meditator learns that he is the watcher, pure awareness. When concentration is sustained long enough, he dives into the superconscious, intuitive state of mind. It enables him in time to unravel the mystery. An integrated, one-pointed state of being is the goal. A state of inner perception without vacillation, with the ability to move awareness through the mind's various states at will. To become the ruler of the mind is the goal. To then go beyond the mind into the self is the destiny of all living on this planet, for most in a lifetime to come. Then again, the most recent and the present thought waves being similar, defines the transformation of mind called one-pointedness. By this, the transformations of the essential nature, characteristics, and conditions of the elements and the senses are explained. The substratum persists whether its characteristics are past, present, or in the future. And a rather challenging question to you. Give an example of the substratum persisting. What does that mean? In the sutra, substratum refers to dharmi, which in this context means the underlying entity that possesses characteristics. Dharmi remains identifiable even as its characteristics, dharmas, change. Here, dharma does not carry its more common meaning of duty or moral law, but instead refers to the characteristics or properties of an object that transform over time. As an example, a lump of gold may have been a ring in the past, a crown in the present, and a pendant in the future. In all instances and through all transformations, it remains gold. Difference in sequence is the cause of difference in transformation. Things change in sequence. The seed develops, sprouts, and matures into a plant. This progression over time is essential to all changes, whether of nature or of mind. Each stage is built on the last and gives rise to the next. Changes in any part of the natural sequence cause differences in the progression. For example, the growth of a mighty oak from acorn to sprout to sapling and mature tree can be altered at any point by changes in the sequence, such as squirrels, drought, lack of sunlight, poor soil, etc. By understanding the differences in sequence and the importance of sequence, the yogi begins to comprehend the nature of change, of spiritual evolution, which Patanjali cryptically calls the transformations of body, mind, and consciousness. He learns to follow the proven path, which will give the proven result. And Gurudeva, we as the soul see out through the physical eyes. As we look through the physical eyes at the flower and meditate deeply upon the flower, we tune into the soul's vast well of knowing and begin to observe previously unknown facts about the flower. We see where it came from. We see how one little flower has enough memory locked up within its tiny seed to come up again and again in the very same way. A rose does not forget and come up as a tulip, nor does a tulip forget and come up as a lily, nor does a lily forget and come up as a peach tree. There is enough memory resident in the genes of the seeds of each that they come up as the same species each season. As we observe this single law and pierce into the inner realms of the mind, we see the flower as large as a house or as small as the point of a pin. Because the eyes of the superconscious mind, the spiritual body, can magnify or diminish any object in order to study it and understand it. To know this, to experience this, is to develop willpower to transform oneself into the knower of what is to be known. Through samyama on the three transformations, knowledge of the past and future arises. The three transformations, parinamas, are defined in Yoga Sutras 3.13, which describes how all phenomena undergo shifts in qualities, dharma, temporal stages, avastha, and states of existence, laksana. Confusion arises from the mutual superimposition of word, meaning, and idea. By performing samyama on the distinctions among these, knowledge of the sounds of all creatures arises. In his search for the essence of the universe, the yogi is advised to not conflate an object with the concept of the object or the word describing the object. They are not the same and must be unpacked. Take a flower, for example. The word is flower. The object is a physical blossom. The idea is one's concept or understanding of flowerness. The yogi is taught to perform samyama on the triad of word, meaning, and idea, so he understands their differences and disabuses himself of the natural confusion that can arise among them. By learning to perform samyama of this nature, he awakens a new understanding and appreciation of sound and speech. If fully successful, he can understand the information contained in any sound, including the sounds produced by any creature. And our next section, Path to Shiva. Lesson 44. What is yoga? This is referring to Raja Yoga. How would you answer that question? Yoga means union. It is Hinduism's system of yoking our individual consciousness with transcendent or divine consciousness. Yoga was described by sage Patanjali in his Yoga Sutras over 2,000 years ago as a system of meditation with 8 limbs or stages. Hence it is known as Ashtanga, Eightfold Yoga. It is also known as Raja Yoga. Patanjali defined it as the restraint of mental activities. Stages 1 and 2, as we know, are yama and niyama. These define the spiritual lifestyle we need for success in meditation. And these are commonly not stressed enough in modern yoga classes. Third limb is the one that gets all the attention, asana, meaning seat or posture, learning to sit comfortably for long periods without moving. This is achieved through hatha yoga, the postures of which balance the energies of mind and body, promoting health and serenity. Fourth stage is pranayama, regulated breathing. This is the science of controlling prana, subtle energy, through breathing techniques. Stage 5 is pratyahara, withdrawing awareness from the senses, emotions, and thoughts, like a tortoise who withdraws its head and legs into its shell for protection. The yogi withdraws his awareness from the outside world and discovers the infinite world within. The 6th stage is dharana, concentration, focusing the mind on a single object, a line of thought, not allowing it to wander. Stage 7 is dhyana, true meditation. Gurudeva described it as a quiet, alert, powerfully concentrated state wherein new knowledge and insight pour into the field of consciousness. A good meditation teaches us something new about ourselves or the world. The 8th and final stage is samadhi. This is the goal of yoga, a state in which the meditator and the object of meditation are one. Over time, specialized forms of yoga have been developed. For example, Kriya Yoga focuses on breath control, mantra, and mudra. Karma Yoga transforms work into worship. Bhakti Yoga is union through devotion. And in some forms of Hatha Yoga, bodily perfection is the goal. Thank you very much. Om.